guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about pregnancy, we talk about motherhood, we talk about life. We do things kind of natural, kind of hippie, kind of granola. I've got an Instagram, Hey Shayla, a podcast, Hey Shayla. If you're new here and you're into all that, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about working from home moms or working from home parents or working from home dads. I would say that there's like three types of parent, right? So you have the working parent who leaves the house and goes to work, and then childcare needs to be found. You have the stay-at-home mom. I'm just gonna say mom because I feel like 90% of my viewers are moms. So if you're a dad, I'm talking to you too. You've got the stay-at-home mom, partner works, they stay at home with the kids, and then you've got the work from home moms. And even these have multiple types. So you've got a person who works for themselves and is working in the home. You've got the people that work for someone else at home, and then you've got the people that are working in the home with childcare. Like they still send their kids to daycare or without childcare. I pulled Instagram to ask people which category do you fit in and what's the hardest part, what's the best part? Unanimously, time to yourself was nobody has it. The people that are working out of the home, they go to work and they come home with the kids and then it's they're tired. They're either working or they're with their children kind of. So does 95% of everyone. And finances, because the people that are working out of the home are still probably paying their wage in daycare, and the people that are a stay-at-home mom, now they're living on one income. So it's always that debate of should I get the job and pay for the daycare? Or should I stay at home and not have an income? Or do I make enough money? Is there a difference there? And then you have more kids, it just gets crazy. It gets crazy. I like spending time with them. That's why I kept this job, why I am working hard at this job, because I like being with them, but I also like working. I talk to my therapist and I like being in flow. So when I'm working and I'm in flow, I'm happy. When I'm momming and I'm in flow, I'm happy. When I'm trying to do both at the same time, awful. It feels icky, it's gross. So I want you to comment with what are you? And if you're oh, none, I don't fit in any of those categories, this is what I am. I probably missed one because my brain doesn't work anymore. And then tell me what is a struggle and what is something you love, because I don't want to just complain about it. I want to be this is hard, but this is a benefit of my situation. Comment below. I want to read them because I want people to understand, because you always think the grass is greener, right? The working out of the home mom is man, I wish I could stay home with my kids all day. And maybe you don't. Maybe you're no, I like the balance. Stay-at-home moms sometimes are oh, I wish I could just go to a job and have a little adult conversation sometimes. I think it's good for you to see the other side and be oh, they have things that they don't like and that they love too, and just kind of hear that a little bit. My struggle is that I'm not clear with my boundaries for when I'm going to work, but what I love about it is that I get to be with my kids a lot, and I get to do something that's for me. I tell Seth, I'm I don't really have me time, but I work, and it feels the same because I like what I do. Creating content and thinking of these videos and stuff is fun. I'm gonna talk about the working from home for yourself mom, because that's what I am. I'm gonna talk about my experience with this, and it's particularly on my mind because this week specifically we have no childcare. We had the nanny all summer, and then we've got preschool starting next week, and we've got this middle week where we've got no childcare. So I'm relying on my husband a lot. It's hard because I cannot do the same things with my kids that Seth can do. I can hardly send a text message or an email. If I'm in an email, they're put it on my lap. I want to sit on your lap while you write your email. And I'm I can't see the thing because your head's in the way. Anytime I'm trying to think, script a video, I'm I can't, because they're I'm hungry, I have to go potty, give me a show. Or I feel guilty that I'm trying to work while I'm with them, and it's just bad. And Seth will be oh, trying to do my taxes and I just couldn't figure it out. And you tried to do your taxes when you were with the girls. What were they doing? He's it's outside playing. I just went outside in the patio and was on the computer and just doing my taxes. And they just let you do that? How long were you doing that for? It's different. I don't know why, but it's different. I used to get really upset that I was the default parent, because I was can't you just help them? But then I had to rework my mind, and I was no. I'm glad that I'm the one that can comfort them. I'm glad that I can comfort them. You get burnt out, of course, but you just have to keep remembering come here. Come here, you little babies. I'm glad that I can be the one that makes you feel comfortable and happy. Not that dad can't, but there's just this weird thing. One of the parents, the default parent. I'm gonna call it the comfort parent. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Specifically with what I do with this, I feel I'm always trying to squeeze work in. Seth is well, I gotta go clock in, so I gotta go, bye. And I'm well, I should probably film a video today, but we need to go grocery shopping, so we should probably do that. There's no clock in, clock out. It's just kind of whenever I decide that this is the time. So when I had the nanny this summer, it was super great because I had that those hours. But when something comes up and the babysitter's well, I can't come Thursday. No problem. No problem. I get it. Life happens. It's fine. It's just hard when you work for yourself to treat it like a job. Or if you're like starting a new business and you're like not making money right away, you really have to treat it like a new job, because otherwise it's always going to be a hobby. But that's super hard, because you're like, how do I justify this working towards this hobby? It's kind of like my podcast. It doesn't make any money yet, but I love it. But I'm like, can I justify the time that I spend on my podcast to do that instead of like these videos where I can monetize or do collaborations or whatever? It's just a tricky thing to navigate. I mean, it's just this week, and like for the next month and a half I'm gonna have to figure it out. I told Seth, I was like, we need to sit down with the calendar and be like, this is when I'm gonna clock in, this is when I'm gonna clock out, no matter what happens down there. I hear crying right now, and that's what's gonna happen there. I've also become extremely efficient. What used to take me, I don't know, a full day, get done in like an hour or two, because I'm just like, okay, here's the time that I have. Or like I prepare myself. Like last night I scripted this video so that I could get here and just like wham, bam, action, kazam. And I get messages from like family who are like, oh my gosh, my kid was sick this week, so I had to work from home. How do you do this? How do you work from home with children around? They're like, you're so amazing. I'm like, don't tell me I'm amazing. It's not easy, and I would rather have support. It's not easy. Okay, let's move on. So I feel, like I said a little bit earlier, icky when I'm trying to do 50-50, when I'm trying to script and the kids are trying to play with me, and I'm like, just a second, hang on, and I'm like trying to work, but they're trying to do this thing, and it's like, it's just gross. So I have to be like, okay, baby's going down for a nap, she'll be down for like an hour and a half, I'm working during this time. And I tell Aaliyah, I'm going to be working, so if you need anything, let me know, but I need to get this done, and then as he wakes up, we can go do something. If she says, Mommy, can you play? I say, nope, I cannot play. But when I'm done with this, I can. So that I give myself that like little bit of time to just like bang out as much as I can. And I always start with making a list, because if I just kind of like start, then I just like wander off into la la land. But if I'm like, these are the things I need done, boom, 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 finished. And then I say, Aaliyah, thank you for being so patient. Now we can play. Or I'll set a timer. If I have like, I just need to get something done for 20 minutes, I'll say, okay, when this timer goes off, I will play with you. And then she knows the timer goes off. Or I'll do the opposite, and I'll say, I will play with you undivided, put my phone somewhere else. It's me and you for 20 minutes, and then I gotta go work. And like that usually makes her feel connected, and then I can like separate for a little bit just to get some work done. Yeah, I need to like do 100% work or 100% momming, and then I feel great about it, even if I work for an hour and a half and like don't play with her, because then I'm like, okay, I know that in my mind I'm working and she is going to understand this boundary, and then I'm going to mom, and so that feels good instead of all day kind of like muddyingly doing both. And like the childcare thing, when you're working from home, you're like, technically I don't need childcare because I'm home. So do I get childcare? And we've done it all. We've done part-time, we've done full-time when Seth was like doing crazy shift work and I was trying to get work done, and I was just like, I just need a break. And then we did a nanny for like 3 or 4 days a week for like 4 hours, 5 hours. That was all great. I need the help. I feel like you either have the village or you pay for the village. Or you find like moms where you can like, I'm gonna send my kid over your house, or you can send your kid over my house, we're gonna trade off. But you just have to think about what doesn't feel icky to you. What's within your circumstances. So like if you're like, I can't pay for help, great, then you need to like make very clear boundaries with your kids about when you're gonna play and when you're gonna work, and make that work for you. And maybe talk to them about it. Okay, so for the morning we're gonna go play outside, then when the baby naps, I'm gonna work, then in the afternoon we're gonna make dinner together or something, so that they like kind of know what the day is, and you're not just being like, no, I'm not playing with you. Aaliyah loves playing with kids. So I also love having her in daycare. We're about to start daycare with my baby, my little one, and she'll be like almost 18 months. I'm a little bit nervous about how it's gonna go. Aaliyah, when she went, didn't even turn around and say goodbye. She was like we went to tour the place halfway through their school year, and she's like, Mom, can I play? And she like went in the classroom, and I left her there, and then I went on the rest of the tour. She just like was like, bye. I don't think my youngest is gonna be like that, but we still have a couple months, so we'll see. But otherwise, I'm basically like just working on kind of a nap time thing if I don't have childcare, trying to figure out when to hang out with your spouse, because you don't want to just play hot potato with your kids all day. Like we just did that. I was with him all morning. He is available, so now he's got the kids. So then when are the kids gone and you're together doing something? Because when the kids are gone, meaning they're sleeping, I'm like, okay, now I finally have like an hour or two where I can like work. So we had to like do that a lot, Seth and I, figure out a balance there, so it wasn't like I was always working or like during the time that we could hang out. The first year for me is the hardest of the baby's life, because their naps are like all over the place. So like to schedule a podcast, not a chance, because I don't know when this baby is going to be awake or when it's going to wake up in the middle of it or whatever. And like it was just like so chaotic. Now it's little more regulated. I went through a phase where I was so frustrated that I couldn't work because I had children. And Seth was like, what's your priority, Shay? And I was like, well, to make money. And he's like, no, like in life. And I was like, my children are my priority. And so that kind of shifted a lot of things. So then I had to really sit down and look at like the content that I made and figure out like where is my time best spent and like focus on those things. And then as like I get more time, I can continue to expand it out or whatever. So I minimized a lot of like the stuff that I was doing. Like now I have to script, I film this, and then I send it to my editor. So I pay for my editor, so I'm paying for time there as well. I don't know, it's nuts. All of the circumstances are hard. It's hard to be a mom or a parent and to have to work too. Like, why do we have to do this? But I just kind of wanted to shed a little light on what it's like being a working from home mom who works for herself and sort of the struggles that come along with that. I think the biggest struggle is just like the boundaries that I have around it. Not having the clear clock in, clock out, and then me not holding good boundaries around that time. I always feel like I'm inconveniencing people, Seth or an aunt or whatever, when I need to work. Do you think Seth feels like he's inconveniencing me when he goes to work? No, it's just like this weird thing that's in my head. So again, let me hear what you're working with, what you're loving, and what struggles you have. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.